Welcome into the Upstate Pulse. My name is Lonzo. It is a beautiful Saturday night. A little toasty outside, but that's okay because the last time I checked, and I could be wrong, Cameron, it's summer, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so there's confirmation. Cameron never went to school to become a weather person, but he has this thing that a lot of people do. He can just walk outside and go, "Oh wow, it's hot."
Based on my layman's understanding of how weather works, it's hot.
It's hot.
So I'm guessing it's summer.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that because I enjoy summer. I enjoy the heat, and we know that you do too. We were out and about.
You ready for a hot pappy summer?
No, definitely not. I would tell you Woodruff Road was jam-packed there for a while. Spent a lot of extra time earlier today going down the road to go get some food. And you guys are out and about having a good time on a Saturday night. I want to thank you for taking us along with you while you're going where you're going, coming back from where you went, or going from hither to thither to yon, and having a good time on a Saturday night. Because it's okay to have fun. It's okay to go out there. And I know things in some places are not going really well, but it's okay to smile. It's okay to have a good time. On today's show, we got a lot of stuff to get to, including, I don't know if you knew, there's this day that's like tomorrow, and it's called Father's Day. And
oh yeah, that day.
Looking forward to talking about that. Also, we have a guest phoning in the next segment. Rob Young from Borderlands Comics and Games, South Carolina Comic-Con, and South Carolina Comic-Con Fall is calling in. By the way, apologize, still got that cough thing going when I project. So trying to remember that I can lean into the mic and I can turn the mic up.
Are we going to have our a little bit more dulcet
tones? I've got another 10 dB that I can go up if I need to, and and if I do, I will. We also we're going to talk a little bit of wrestling later. Signs of the impending apocalypse. 2 oopses today, and we may do them back to back because they're related in a way. The thing that caused a problem, it caused a problem in 2 different ways. We also are going to talk Xbox Showcase. We didn't get to talk about it last week because it happened on Sunday, and it's one that we were excited about because we both are Game Pass members, I guess, or we pay for Game Pass.
Enthusiasts?
Yeah, there we go.
Where were you going with that?
Well, I don't know. I went there though. Also, Nerd Roundtable. So many things to talk about. If you would like to be a part of the show, here is the text line: 800-905-0989. Make sure you throw some flaccid on there just for Patrick, wherever he may be. And we are also live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X at either 98.9 WRD or the Upstate Pulse. On stream already, Mark says, "Hey guys, shout out to Kid Flaccid. Alonzo, remember when we couldn't figure out why WWE released R-Truth? That swerve was great booking." Or was it? We're going to talk about that in sometime this hour, next hour. I want to start off by talking about Father's Day. And first, I want to talk to all the people who don't have dads. One of the things that's easy to do on Father's Day or Mother's Day or Valentine's Day, well, I don't have that person. So you just immediately get grumpy. You kind of have an attitude. You should be happy for the people who do. I mean, there's nothing you can do about your situation, but there are people around you are genuinely excited and happy that they have a dad. Now, I didn't grow up with a dad, but I had father figures. Some of the stepfathers were good at times. My Uncle Ralph was a good father figure for me. I've spent a lot of time still looking for that, and do not be singing George Michael to me, because that's a totally different thing. You don't know the song Father Figure. You can look it up later.
I don't want to.
Well,
I think the dots just connected.
Listen,
I
don't know that this. I mean, sometimes lyrics mean what they mean, and sometimes they mean other things. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. You're very important. I am so glad that you are in the lives of your children, because you have made their lives better. Speaking to the good dads, the bad dads, straighten up, dude. I mean, be better, because the father figure is very important in shaping the lives, especially young men, so that they can move forward and be the same, and be the backbone of the society. Not that women aren't, because they are too, but you know what I mean. And strong dads make strong sons that make strong dads. I think that's what I believe anyway.
think the logic checks out there.
It does. So if you want to say something to your dad, for your dad, just want to wish your dad happy Father's Day, I am willing to shout out to all the people listening in North Carolina and South Carolina and Georgia and around the world on the Odyssey app, which is free, by the way. You can download it. Go to wherever you download your apps and download the Odyssey app. And when you go on to it, just search 98.9 WORD and click on the Pulse, and there you go. You will have us. We will be live and in your face. And you can also go back and listen to a podcast, or if you started the show later, you can rewind it back, because there's a rewind feature, and start it back from the beginning. Now, if you are, and then you're following along on the stream, then you'll be a little bit behind. Shout out to Keith, who said whatever. Right back at you. Whatever, dude. I know Keith's a good dad, and Keith's dad was a lot of fun, especially when you accuse him of cheating in croquet and he kicks you out of the yard.
I feel like that's an admission of guilt.
Oh no, it was an interesting thing. It's one of the things I will always remember, though. And then he waited for me to back down, which I did not, and so I just started to walk out of the yard. And he just started laughing, and told me to come back. It was fun though. It was fun. It's like, because listen, I'm not saying he cheated all the time, but every once in a while, and he got it from his dad, because we all know that Papaw cheated. We saw him cheat. Papaw was bedridden, would get up out of the bed, come out and play croquet.
I was about to ask how.
But then he would go back to bed.
Was the bed on wheels?
No, the bed was not on wheels. Papaw could walk. But I listen, as I get older, I understand some of the problems that he had, because I have those too. And so do a lot of us, because it was hereditary. But Papaw would get up out the bed, walk outside, play some croquet every once in a while, and then he'd go back to bed. But that's fine. And then we watch wrestling together. So, I mean, there you go. All right. Keith says, on behalf of all the single moms who have been the only father in the kids' lives, happy Father's Day. There you go. You got to be what you got to be. But if you are a dad and you can be a dad, be a dad.
This is better than not being a dad.
Texter says, I lost my dad about 5 years ago. I miss him dearly. He was 87 years old. That's from Jim and Easley. Sorry about your loss, Jim. But it's cool to chat a dad. I mean, it really is cool. I see, this is one of those awkward things. Normally I would go around the room and ask the people, what do you want to talk about? But ain't nobody here. But you know what? It's summer. And you know what? I want to address
I could
something.
talk about my dad.
We'll do that in a moment. I want to address something, because we're going to need to take a break so we can get our guests on. I do want to address something. Yeah, it's just me and Cameron here again today. People who are not here, it's not because there's a rift, not because we got in an argument. They're just absent. Do we wish they were here? Yeah, but you got to keep going. I mean, I can't go, well, you remember that time?
The show must go on.
You remember that time when we found out that guy was from another country?
Oh, the memories.
You remember that time when that guy was at buying manga? Yeah, I mean, they'll be back, or they won't be back. We go through cycles. Not saying we're going through a cycle right now. I'm not saying any of that. I'm definitely not saying that. All right, we are going to take our first break, because the phone is ringing, and that should be our guest. And because I'm the only one here, I need to answer the phone. So Let us take our first break. When we get back, we will have our special guest. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. Good evening, the Upstate Pulse. Hello. Well, I figured it was really on the phone line. People started calling that way. By the way, and we're still on stream, so they can still hear me talking to you. If they can hear you, my telephone voice was fun because I've had so many people call me during different shows and scream about how dumb I am to me, not realizing they're talking
Complain about that Lonzo.
Yeah, it's always so much fun, and
I like you so much more than Lonzo.
I always go with it like, yeah, I can't stand that guy either. You want me to say something to him, and then some of them will say that. All right, we got a couple minutes left on break.
It's because you're just so pleasant, like answering the phone.
Exactly, Goose. Exactly right.
See, I was thinking the
Yeah,
same
it's
thing,
exactly
but I didn't want
right.
to bring it up. They click his heels and go, okay!
No, I mean, everybody, it's usually at family reunions, everybody wanted him to come out. I mean, it's amazing going from the bed, coming out and dominating in croquet. A lot of it had to do with let him win, let him win, let him win.
I would like it, but I mean,
I got to be honest. As I recall, I never got to play with him. I got to watch. But there is no let him win in me. It's just
I'm aware.
That is not me. It's like, oh, let the kids win. No, what's that teaching them?
They must learn
Someday they will beat me, and they did, and they have, and they can.
And they will continue to.
Then it's pride and disappointment all at the same time because, like, man, he's so good. Man, I suck. And that's my dominance is over. It lasted for a moment.
Take pride in the thrashing you're about to receive.
It is now gone. Hey, you know what? That's fine.
Now I get to spread that ethos to other people.
There you go. There you go.
That's why
Absolutely.
I got banned in Soul Caliber in college.
By the way, Scott, we will be talking about Spaceballs, and we're also going to talk about the new console handheld console that's coming.
Yeah.
And will it be competition for Switch 2? We'll see. If you have any comic book questions or South Carolina Comic-Con questions, throw this up on the stream because we're going to be talking to Rob Young from Borderlands Comics Games, South Carolina Comic-Con. I know he could play, Keith. I remember he was good. He also cheated some. He just,
I'm detecting a theme.
No, it was like, did that go through that wicket? I didn't see that go through that wicket. It's like, okay, I guess it didn't. There's no instant replay at the family reunion. There should be, though.
I know how all y'all cheat. So we got it.
See, that's the thing. You can't cheat in horseshoes. You can cheat in croquet.
Yeah.
I never had to cheat, though. That skill.
Sorry,
you made
Chris.
your way over, Chris? What's up?
You got here earlier this time.
You found your way. So excited. I also have Ghostbusters 2 on the screen over there. And there's Rick Moranis coming back for Spaceballs 2. Can't wait to talk about that. Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo and Cameron here, having fun on a Saturday night. If you want to be a part of the show, it's real easy to do. Text line is 800-905-0989. I got it memorized. I keep looking over there because I don't trust it, but I do have it memorized finally. Again, 800-905-0989. We are also live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X at either the Upstate Pulse or 98.9 WRD. If you comment on my personal feed, I won't see it till later. I'm not ignoring you. I just can't see it. And all right, I gotta be. I mean, maybe I should ignore you. Maybe you're someone who needs to be ignored, but I doubt it. All the people who talk to us are really cool, and we appreciate that. Cool in a nerdy way. Speaking of cool, one of the coolest people that I know is Rob Young from Borderlands Comics and Games in South Carolina Comic-Con, who is in parts unknown right now, right?
Well, kinda. If Tennessee is parts unknown.
Well, I mean, I've been to Tennessee. There are parts unknown in Tennessee. They have a whole song about it. It's called Rocky Top. I don't want you to sing it, but it's, and people hear it in their head right now. That is, I've driven all the way across Tennessee to the western tip. I don't advise doing that.
It's not fun.
It is not fun at all. We went there my daughter made it to the World Series in softball, and we had to drive through a rainstorm all the way to the other end of Tennessee. Not fun at all. I have a major question for you. Okay, so did Junior grow up? Is that what happened? South Carolina Comic-Con Junior is now, what is the name now?
Fall Edition.
Fall Edition.
It had a Pokemon evolution to it.
So does this mean? I mean, I don't know. Does this mean is it getting bigger? It's about the same size.
So the deal is, I mean, just being straight, we did Fall Edition trying to do like the little brother show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ending the cross rate, and we're having to keep up with multiple social media accounts, and we decided to do Fall Edition because it was just cleaner. One social media account, just easier to do. And I thought the message was a little less confusing. People thought it was a kids only show sometimes, which made sense because we didn't get that message across, I think, as good as we could have. And so we decided to do the Fall Edition thing instead.
Well, I just got to say, I like the name change. I know it doesn't matter, but I do like the name change, and I am looking forward to, because that's going to be here. The months and the days go by so quickly. That'll be here before we know it, and I cannot wait for that.
It's going to be fun, but I can tell you guys real quick. Everybody will get a kick out of this because they've all seen it on YouTube, but maybe not experienced it in person. We did have a classic Tennessee adventure today.
Uh-oh.
In what
so
way?
We were playing board games, as nerds do, on the back deck of the cabin here, and we heard people yelling and screaming from the cabin behind us. And so we would come around, my thought was thinking we need to help somebody, but they were telling us that a bear had opened the back door to my truck and was inside my vehicle.
Oh no. How big of a bear was it?
200 pounds, easy.
Okay.
Maybe bigger.
Did you wrestle the bear up?
Didn't hurt anything. It really wanted my protein bars, and he got them. He opened the door, took what he wanted, and left. But he wasn't kind enough to even close the door. But
Was there a smaller bear with him?
Thank God, no, because that's dangerous.
He was thinking it might have been Boo Boo with him.
Yeah.
That's right.
So Cameron asked, I don't know if you heard, was the temptation there to wrestle the bear and get your protein bars back?
I decided that discretion was a better part of valor this time.
That's probably smart.
You probably didn't have your wrestling shoes on. You gotta have those on.
I didn't have my wrestling shoes on. We might not even be in the same weight class. I decided it was probably best to.
You just wanted to spare the bear.
That's it. I mean, I don't even know if a rear naked choke works on a bear.
Only one way to find out.
Daggum right.
I'm also curious.
Since that puppy in.
So
where's Khabib when we need him?
Exactly. So are you going to lock your truck from now on?
Yeah, actually, I thought I did. And I went in the house and I thought I'd locked it. And I guess the signal just didn't reach. And so, yeah, I locked it with the door of the truck this time. Make sure it was locked. It might have been better, though, because if he'd have really wanted in, he might have just beat the heck out of the door. So who knows?
Yeah, Trey on the stream says the bear opened the door to his sister's Mercedes in Gatlinburg. So
You take it for a
and
joyride,
that's-
Trey?
Well, I mean, it wasn't Mercedes. He's like, that's a fine ride.
exactly. You know what?
Yeah.
I had seen a story that there were bears in Malden this past week. So, bears are
There
hungry.
were bears after we left about, from what we can estimate, from what we heard, about 2,000 feet, 1,000 feet behind our house out in Dacusville. And, but we weren't home. So, but yeah, apparently they were roaming around just right behind our house.
So I haven't talked to you, or we haven't had a chance to talk to you that I recall, because I'm getting older and I don't remember, but I'm going to say that we haven't talked to you since South Carolina Comic-Con. Did the numbers this year, were they good? Because it seemed like the crowd was pretty good.
Man, it was a great show, and I really got to give all the props to the convention center for, the parking was a worry for everybody, and they really did a great job getting that straightened out, and it ran really, really smooth, really, really well. And I think it's one of the best shows we've ever done. Everything ran really smooth. We didn't have any major issues, and everybody seemed to have fun. All the guests seemed to have fun. So, you take the wins where you get them, I guess.
All right. Chris on the stream says South Carolina Comic-Con was the best. It is the best every year. So there's that. So
Chris, thank you, man.
You told me something. I don't know if you're still going to do this or not. You told me that you might tell a secret about South Carolina Comic-Con Fall, SC Comic-Con Fall.
Yeah, we're gonna now. I believe his name is Paul, but we're gonna have the second Pinhead at Fall Edition.
Oh, that's cool.
He attended the big show years back. It's been a long time, and we're also going to have Walter Jones, the Black Power Ranger, is also going to be at the show.
Oh, that's very.
Those announcements haven't been made on social media or anywhere, so it's breaking news.
There you go, breaking news. The Pinhead, the guy who played Pinhead, is he going to come dressed as Pinhead? I know they don't generally do that.
Yeah, that was kind of tough. Yeah, the answer would be no, because I can't imagine being in the show all day dressed up like that. But he's a great guy. He's really nice. Good dude. That's why we wanted him back. It's Halloween. Seems kind of perfect.
I didn't even think about it being Halloween. Absolutely, that is perfect. That would be a fun guy to talk to about the amount of makeup and how long you'd have to be in the chair to get that done.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Like, some of these people will be in the chair 6 hours, and then they got to go shoot for Lord knows how long.
I think my question would be, had he ever bonked his head while in makeup?
Had he ever what?
Bonked his head with all the pins and stuff in his head.
That would be highly unpleasant. It would be very unpleasant, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm guessing they aren't real pins, that they're plastic or something. But still, if you knock them, you knock all the makeup loose, and then you have to sit back down. I also, we've had a chance to talk to some actors and stuff that I never really thought about this before. When they get paid, it's a contract, so it's a straight up contract, right? They don't get paid by the hour. Because I wonder, when do you ask for extra money if you know you're going to have to sit in makeup for that long?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a straight pay for the show, and they might have a day rate. So maybe if they shoot over a certain number of days, they might get a day rate, extra if the shoot goes long. So that's when people are always trying to stay on budget, and they have to shoot longer days so that they don't go over.
So what's going on? By the way, Borderlands Comics and Games, you need to check it out. 410 South Pleasantburg Drive. I was just over there like 2 days ago, picking up some comic books, and I have a stack of books. I'm collecting Batman and Robin. I haven't read one yet, and I've got 20 something, and I'm going to have some time off pretty soon, and I'm just going to sit down and read them all straight in a row.
Well, man, right now, the crazy books have been all the Absolute books from DC are just incredible. All the Ultimate books from Marvel are great. Stuff from Skybound is just off the chain.
I picked up my first Invincible World comic book. The Beast guy. Why do I forget? Battle Beast. I got that. I got one of those just because, I didn't watch Invincible, but Cameron and Matthew both had watched it, and then finally I went and watched it all the way through. And they actually have a video game coming out. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, which looks very interesting. Unfortunately, it's just a fighter game, but still, it looks cool. But I saw Kirkman talking about the comic book. It's like, yeah, I need to go get that when it comes out, and I did. I can't wait to read that too.
Yeah, it's a really good book, and pretty much like everything he touches, they put so much time and effort into it. It's just so good. You know, every time you can tell they put a lot of thought into it.
So if you're a fan of a series like that, and you really want to get into it, can you come to Borderlands Comics and Games and get back issues ordered or second or third printings or something like that?
Oh, for sure. So we have all that stuff for Battle Beast. Number 2 is about to drop. And we try to keep all the trades in because, Absolute already has trades. Ultimate already has trades. Transformers and the new G.I. Joe all have trades. So those graphic novels are such an easy gateway, to get into something cool to read. And if you're not a back issue person who wants to collect all that, you just want to read it. I mean, they're the shortcut.
Okay,
per story, they're cheaper.
All right. So when you said trade, so trade is that's what, when you say trades, that is a graphic novel?
That's a graphic novel. Yep. It's just a book chain term. So I apologize for using industry jargon. But,
what? I should have, all this time you've said this, and we've known each other for many, many years, and I thought it meant something else. And now I know what it means. So it's a good day.
Yeah. It's just a graphic novel in our world.
Cameron is looking at me. Cameron is looking at me judging. He is judging me right now.
I'll be honest. I just now realized that too.
Okay, good. I'm glad we have learned something.
Typically when I learn something, I don't typically tell people that I figured it out just then.
Okay, so that look was like, oh, that's what that means. Now I know what that means too. You got a lot of stuff going on at Borderlands Comics and Games, including come there and actually play games, which is really cool. Are there any tournaments or anything coming up that's happening anytime soon?
Ben, we just had the Final Fantasy pre-release, and we do Friday Night Magic every single Friday. So folks can come in and check out the new Final Fantasy card game set. It is the best-selling Magic set of all time by all accounts. And we've still got plenty of product at the shop, and folks can come in and give it a shot. Come in on a Friday night, test it out with some new folks, or have somebody demo it to you so you can learn how to play Magic. I mean, it's the most popular card game in the world. It's kind of crazy.
It is pretty fun to play. During the hurricane last year, I went over to a buddy's house and he just taught me how to play. I ought to get into it a little bit more now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I've always been interested in playing those kind of games because of their popularity and being able to talk about it on the air. And I knew that you could come there and play, but I didn't realize that you could actually get someone to teach you how to play.
Oh, absolutely. Folks come in, let us know. We'll set up a time to do a demo. And we've got multiple people that are happy to walk you through, with a couple of starter decks just to make it easy. And once folks get used to it, there's a version of the game called Commander, which is designed like a party game, which makes it really fun for a group of people to play.
You know what? We're going to have to try that. We definitely are going to have to try that. Who knows? Maybe we can bring some other people along who kicking and screaming to teach them how to do that too.
Well, Commander's the most popular format for Magic right now. And we'll get tables full of, 5, 6, 8 people all playing together. And that's the whole point of playing games, is to hang out with people you like.
So is that like a battle royale kind of like way to play, or is that like going against like set?
It is definitely, last man standing.
Okay.
One person trying to win.
All right. So before we let you go, we're going to be talking about this a little bit later. What is your opinion on the R-Truth Ron Killings situation?
I don't know, man. I mean, I really think it's organic. I don't think they planned it. I think it makes sense to me. They were going to try to reduce his contract for whatever reason. He said no, is what I'm hearing. I can let you guys in on a secret. The other reason I think it's real is we were lined up to book him for Fall Edition.
And now that's a no-go.
And now that's not there because, it was not through WWE. It was through somebody else.
Ah, gotcha.
Ooh.
Yeah, and you probably
So
can't say who that was.
He was soliciting. Yeah, he was soliciting appearances.
Okay. All right. So we've already got some people asking on the stream, and we definitely are going to be talking about the situation because it was one of the biggest deals in all wrestling last week. So when you're out,
isn't it cool if the fans change their mind?
Did they?
I just think that's fantastic. That's how any business should be. If all of your customers are telling you we want something, you've got to try to do it,
Well, given this new little tidbit of evidence, I would say that Rob's right and the fans did tip.
Oh, listen, I get it. And we'll talk about this later, but anyway, I just have some other opinions on it. I'm not saying that they're my opinions. I just have some other opinions. But I guess if I'm giving an opinion, it's my opinion, isn't it?
Well, you could just be advocating on the devil's side.
I could be doing that, yes. And who doesn't do that on occasion? There's Chris is asking what comics are you reading? He's probably talking to me, but I'm curious. What comics are you reading, Rob?
Well, believe it or not, I'm actually reading Transformers, and Battle Beast was good. I read that, and I randomly opened one of those blind bags and had pulled issue 2, so I've already read issue 2, and it was good. Then I'm reading a bunch of old war books, like old back issues. That's something I like to do, old Atlas war books. So I'll always grab a stack of those, and I'm reading through those. Well,
I'm going to let you go and let you get back to the woods and unplugging and all that kind of stuff. I definitely understand how important that is, and I appreciate you calling in. And please,
oh man, it's always a joy to be on, and I really appreciate you guys.
I just want to say, as we let you go, please don't feed the bear.
Suplex.
Yeah,
the bear,
we
Rob.
thought about laying some more food out for him, but that got ixnayed.
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea unless you're looking for a bear rug. I mean,
That's right. That's right. Look, we've got 2 big dogs out on the property. They might like us. They might like a bear. No, we can get them a bear to play with, right? Can't be that much different.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun playmate. All right, Rob Young from Borderlands Comics and Games, South Carolina Comic-Con in South Carolina. I can do this. Comic-Con Fall Edition. I did it.
You nailed it.
I did. That's because I'm a radio professional. Thanks again for being on, and we'll see when you're back and we're back and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely, guys. I appreciate you. Have an awesome night, and fuck a little AEW while you're doing it. I know you just love that.
Yeah, I do. We'll see about that. All right. See you, Rob.
Take care, guys. See ya.
All right. That was Rob Young from Borderlands Comics and Games, obviously. And we're going to take a break. We're running a little bit late. Shocker. And we'll get caught up. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here. And I'll get to all your messages and all that kind of stuff when we get back. Listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of all things noise.
That's how I got my pet Wampa. Named it.
Oh, yeah, I have a Wampa.
He does have a Wampa skin rug.
I do. It's kind of awesome.
Brings up.
Every game room should have a skinned Wampa. I'm just saying. Let us come back. You know what? It's fresh on our mind. Let's go ahead and talk some Ron Killings when we come back a little bit.
That sounds good.
And then we'll have to take a quick break because we're a little bit behind, but it's always fun when Rob is on. Chris, I saw the things that you posted about the comic shop. Is it open yet? Because sometime this summer we usually go around Garden City, Murrells Inlet, that type of place is usually where we stay when we go to the beach, and we like to check all the things going on around there. So maybe we'll check it out if it's open. As far as the autocorrect calling me Alonzo, I met Alonzo before. Still one of my favorite stories. I met Alonzo at an old folks home as Mark Ryan and I were doing a show in front of the building, and Mark Ryan was way too cold. And I'm going to keep saying his name because I don't care. Because he's now in Detroit, and I think that's hilarious because he was too cold at the old folks home.
Take him to Detroit.
Yes, go to Detroit. Yeah, you won't get cold there. And he's like, Alonzo, we got to go inside, man. It's too cold. It's so we made our way inside. We went inside, and there was an Elvis impersonator in there, and he sang to Mark while we were live on the air. Still my favorite thing ever. And my dude's name was Alonzo, and he knew who we were. He walked up and said, "Hey, I just want to meet you. My name's Alonzo." So when I think of the name Alonzo, I think of that dude. His wig didn't quite work.
I think this just makes it better.
Oh, it did. It did. His wig was just off. His wig was just off just a little bit.
Slightly off kilter.
I can say the old ladies was digging it though. Mark was not.
It appears that they were all shook up.
I think he was singing "I Can't Help Falling in Love with You" to Mark. And even if it wasn't, in my head it is now. That's what I'm going.
It just makes the story
It will
better.
forever be that. He's looking at me like I'm going to do something. Like, even if I could, I would
Why
not.
would you?
I would not do anything. Let's let this thing happen. Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo and Cameron here, having fun on a Saturday night. Hope you are too. Shout out to Rob Young. He's on vacation, but he called in just to talk. Pretty.
He's awesome.
He is.
He is the exalted Rob for a reason.
He is, without a doubt. If you want to be a part of the show, 800-905-0989 is the text line. We also are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X at either the Upstate Pulse or 98.9 WORD, where Toby says, Happy Father's Day to you and all. Yes, we talked about Father's Day when we first started. We'll continue that throughout the show. If you want to shout out to your dad or a neighbor's dad or, a long-lost dad or a dad who doesn't know you exist. I mean, any of those dads. Okay.
You cut me like
slightly personal. What can I say?
I was going to say Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Thank you, Cameron. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
In case you didn't know, Cameron is a relative. He is my child. So he's my little boy.
Okay, let's stop. let's stop that right now.
But I'm not related to Pappy at all. I want to point that out.
I am an ancient being.
There you go.
Born in between the Tigris and Euphrates River 8,000 years ago.
So there's a chance I could be related to Pappy, but it's
you might be one of my descendants.
Yeah, it could be.
I got a lot of those.
All right. When we talked to Rob, and someone brought it up earlier on the stream, but the stream's going crazy though, so I have to go way up and I'm doing everything. People, what do you want? Okay, so I can't go back up. So I'm sorry if I don't remember who said it, but yeah, we talked about R-Truth last week and about how they didn't renew his contract. There was an outcry throughout the universe, and at the end of the PLE, Money in the Bank, a guy comes out and jumps John Cena. And my wife and I are watching, and Pappy is not the father of us all, Chris. My wife and I are watching the PLE, and I see the guy jump Cena, and just a little bit of the back of his shirt came up. I was like, that's brown skin. That's R-Truth. And then he took his mask. I mean, I was couch popping. I was like, no way, it's R-Truth.
As hard as we did for Joe Hendry at WrestleMania, or?
Yes. And when I was in the studio and Bronson Reed became a part of Seth Rollins, I mean, storyline wise, I thought it was really good. Now, R-Truth has since, Ron Killens has since stood on the announce desk and cut all his hair off and said that he's in the driver's seat now, and he's still Truth, but he's also Ron Killens. So it looks like some people are saying it's a work. Some people are saying that it's not a work. See, I have this problem, and it's not me being contrarian, because we've talked about this many times. A contrarian has a differing opinion just to be different.
You're skeptical.
Yeah, I'm. First of all, I don't think they renewed his contract. I think they were negotiating, and during the negotiations, he threw it out there that he was not going to be back. I think the people yelled about it. They screamed about it, which is good. He is beloved. Trust me, one of my favorite wrestlers that I've ever interviewed in my entire life, and I've interviewed a bunch of them. He's a cool guy. He's awesome. But as many times as people say, well, we're the reason why the Yes Movement happened, or we're the reason why this happened or that happened. Are you though? I mean, can you prove it? I don't know that you can prove it. I'm skeptical about
Well, there's no
that.
way to prove it one way or the other,
Right,
unless
right.
you're behind those doors.
The TV is muted, and I've seen some other things where people were live at some events and how loud they are. And I believe the TV is muted because of AEW and the AEW fans, because they decided to do the cursing chants. And I think that the mics in arenas now on a lot of live events, especially wrestling events, I think they're muted to a degree. You can hear, I mean, if you're a guy who listens for a living, you can hear how muted it sounds. So it may sound like a dead crowd, and it's not, because they have to be careful with the mics, because people have decided, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna cuss. That's cool. It's not really, but I mean, especially when you can't hear the announcers, which the announcers are a part of the program. And when you can't hear what they're saying, you can't hear the bumps in the ring, you can't hear all these things. That bothers me. Anyway, Ron Killings is back, and he jumped John Cena twice last night on SmackDown. And now he's going to wrestle.
I think I
next
saw
week.
the first time.
Yeah. He got him again later after CM Punk came out. He went out to the ring and he called out Ron Killings, and CM Punk came out, and they had their little promo off. And I know there are CM Punk fans out there, but sorry, Cena is better than him any day on the mic. Wrestling, CM Punk's probably better. He has.
I was going to say,
yeah, CM Punk appears to have a bigger moveset, but if you notice, Cena has used more moves in his heel run. And if you only have to use 5 moves, why would you use 6? I mean, if you're over with 5, why use 6? You can only be so over. And if the company's happy with your 5 moves, and your 5 moves are making you rich, doing 6 ain't gonna make you any richer. Why do the 6th move?
I'm surprised he hasn't used that as part of his heel promos.
Oh, he probably will. His heel promos are amazing.
Yeah, they've been spectacular.
And he's telling people exactly what he's doing, and that is exactly what he's doing, and people are loving him for that. All right, we're going to take our final break of the hour, and we'll come back, and let's talk a little more Father's Day. You listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Hey, Chris. Let you in on a little secret. No Sammy to Sam, direct bloodline. So proud of you, young man.
Yeah, Trey, I loved him as K-Quick. I think that's when he did that spinning. It was that one move he used to do all the time was amazing. That he doesn't do as R-Truth. And I don't know
if he can do it anymore.
That's not what he told. He told me, he never got out of shape after high school. That's why he's still so in shape. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, don't call me Father Pappy. That makes me sound like a priest. That would be a little.
Yeah, you don't want to.
That's like that ain't me.
Don't go there.
That was as far as I was going. I wasn't doing anything
I am
else.
putting a halt to that. Is what I'm doing.
Am I being vetoed?
Yes, you are. When it comes to that.
What's the word?
All right, so Texter wants to challenge us to play Catan. What the heck is that?
Oh, it's another very popular board game.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know.
A lot of my D&D buddies are really into Catan.
What is it?
I don't remember.
Okay. All right.
Settlers of Catan, I believe is what it's called.
No, Chris. Don't nobody want to hear that. No, nobody wants to hear that.
Oh, what's I gonna say?
Especially if it involves statutes of limitation. No,
He was a police officer. How bad could?
no, he was.
Yes,
Yes, he was.
yes, he
But still,
was.
but still, no.
What's that face for? Oh, yeah. Sorry.
So we want to talk Spaceballs here, or do I wouldn't want to talk. I know I said Father's Day, and we'll continue to talk Father's Day. I want to talk beach activities. We got a ton of video game stuff to talk about and other stuff, but definitely Spaceballs 2, probably the first segment of the next hour, which is rapidly coming up since we spent extra time with Rob. So again, very cool of Rob to call while he's in the mountains, unplugging. He's still plugged in for
and
me.
dealing with bears.
Yes, and dealing with. Wow, I mean, I have a great fear of bears. I gotta admit, I have a little bit of fear of deer, and not like, oh, it's Bambi, oh, it's a fawn. The fawn ain't gonna hit me, but
A buck.
Definitely in my car because I deer dodge all the time. But also going out to my car.
Do you deer dip?
They tend to sleep probably like 20 feet from my bumper.
I remember.
No, they still do. And so I will start my car in the morning and they'll still be there. But once I unlock it, the headlights come on and then they stir and then they try to decide which direction they're going to go. And I'm always worried they're going to come in between my wife's car and my car. And we're going to hear, "Gore, gore."
All right. Here's how you deal with that.
Sorry, my gore wasn't how it should be, but I'll cough for 25 minutes.
You
So
grab them by the antlers and you.
Oh, listen, I wouldn't know what else if a deer comes at you in between the cars and there's nothing you can do, I'm not going to go this. I mean, I'm going to try to grab the antlers depending on
your hands are probably going to get pierced, but
yeah, well, depending on how. I mean, they are my money makers, but chest and dying is also a thing that I don't want to happen.
I would sacrifice my hands in a heartbeat.
I got to admit, I know she's watching. So the deer comes in between the cars and comes at me. I'm turning it towards her car, not towards mine.
Trey, there is a lot of D&D there's a lot of D&D stuff that's sold at Comic-Con, from dice to all sorts of different things. I'll talk about it more after.
Why'd you get a whispery?
I don't know. I got all serious.
Yeah. Welcome back into the Upstate
All right there,
Pulse.
LA Knight.
What's it more like? Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. We're playing all the hits right here. What do you want to hear? If you have a request, you can give it to me. I won't play what you want to hear because I want to play what I want to play.
I want to hear some Gordon Lightfoot.
Only when we go on vacation. This is the Upstate Pulse. I'm Ronzo. He is Cameron. Thank you for tuning in. Talking about a lot of fun stuff on a Saturday night. I want to say, if this is your first time listening, let's say you're in North Carolina or you're other parts of South Carolina, you go, what crap is this? Exactly. You're welcome. You're welcome. We are a show about pop culture. We have been here for 11 years. We were a podcast show before there was podcasts. So, I mean, there's that. I'm not saying it's like the grandfather of it all, because it's not. But we were a podcast show.
Would you say it's happy?
No, we did not do that. And we'll not do that. And we'll not do that. If you want to be a part of that nerdy show, which is this nerdy show, text line is 800-905-0989. We are also live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, at 98.9 WLE or the Upstate Pulse. If you would like to shout out to your dad or your grandpa, or maybe you don't have a dad, maybe your grandparent raised you, or your mom raised you, or your auntie raised you, you can shout out to them too. But it is Father's Day.
What if they were raised by wolves?
Then their name's Kevin Costner. And anyway, who's in and out of the good graces of people. And sometimes, he's just not quite there. I am curious. All right. We do this every once in a while. Actually, we do this once a summer. I'm going to do it here and then we'll continue throughout the hour. When you go to the beach, what do you do? I am very curious about what you do. Now, some of you people with more money, and I do mean you people with more money, go on down to Hilton Head and places like that. I'm sure you have fun, and I'm sure it's fancy, and I'm sure it's expensive. I've been to Hilton Head because I had to, because my daughter was playing in the state championship, and they put their Walmarts behind little signs behind hedges because they're ashamed of their Walmarts. You're so ashamed of your Walmarts, don't have a Walmart. That's I mean, there's that. I mean, you got to hide things behind the thing. It makes it look like it's a little underhanded. That's all I'm saying. So if you go to the beach, what do you do at the beach? Is there certain things other than going into the ocean? A lot of people don't do that anymore because sharks. Cameron apparently doesn't fear sharks, but I fear when Cameron goes in the ocean because of sharks. Same with my daughter.
I mean, I pay attention.
Last few times I've went to the beach, here's what, and this is not because I'm old, but it's also because I'm old. It's also because I'm out of shape and I need a knee replacement. Those waves don't joke, man. You get out there and you think you're good for a while, and then you try to walk out of there and you can't. And I don't need some sort of pulley system to get me back to the room. That would be embarrassing. So I don't.
Would you like that? Would you?
No,
like
I do not. I don't believe I've ever built a sandcastle. I could be wrong, but I don't recall building a sandcastle. Did I build a sandcastle for you guys when you were little?
No.
I don't know why. It's not that I can't build sandcastles. No, Keith was on here
I
earlier.
just remember
that dude can carve like the Last Supper out of snow. I mean, no, I've seen him do that stuff before. And
No,
it's amazing.
I believe you. I absolutely believe
don't
you.
know that I can make a sandcastle. I
By
think
the way,
I can.
All I was thinking was like GARP.
Yeah. But anyway, I think so. What do you do? Where do you go? Let's go with Myrtle Beach, Garden City, that type of area. Where do you go to eat when you go down there? We like to try, and we're going to go later this summer. We like to try new places to eat and give them a shot. Now, we've had suggestions before, and wow, Joseph, that's pretty.
We were on the dean's list.
Yes, we were. Well, listen, I graduated a long time ago. I'm actually an acting professor. I have tenure. So anyway, 11 years, that's tenure. Actually, I've been here 25 years. So there's that. Krabby Mike's, is that the one place we don't want to go?
Yeah, no, I don't remember.
So we were down there during COVID, and when there was this one place, and everybody is kind of
I think it was that,
yeah, everybody was kind of keeping their 6 feet and all that kind of stuff. And
I need to wear a poncho.
And the buffet was open, and we went in during COVID when everyone was so worried about everything, and you could literally see like pieces of fish flying from people going to the buffet. It was very disturbing, and so we decided to just sit down at the buffet and order. They did eat like Saiyans. That's exactly what they did. It was interesting. And some people say you can't go to the beach and go to a chain restaurant. I was chastised before because we went to the one place that we go to all the time. The seafood place.
Oh,
Broadway at the beach.
Joe's Crab Shack?
Joe's Crab Shack. Yeah, I was chastised. And I'm like, dude, you realize I'm from Ohio. I spent half my life, nearly 30 years, being landlocked. Okay? Don't expect me to go, well, that looks like a place. I bet they have fresh fish. But you guys give us suggestions, and we're going to try it out. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Hour number 2 of the Upstate Pulse coming up in the next hour. We are going to talk Oops, and we're going to talk Xbox Showcase, Nerd Roundtable, including Superman trailer, and the new American Gladiators. And some of the guys and girls they picked are people that you know.
Chris, I do believe we have tried the Conch Cafe, and I think I liked it.
Did we?
Yeah.
Was that like close to our
yeah, I think so.
Where we stayed? Our favorite place is Bubba's. Hey, would you bring me my other drink when you?
Love the crab cakes at Bubba's.
I do, but see, here's the thing. We went to Bubba's, and I really enjoyed the first time. I didn't want to go back. And because I don't think it would ever be as good as it was the first time. And I was right. It's never been as good as that first time we went.
True, but you always
Where is Market Commons at, Chris? Because again, when we stay somewhere around Murrells Inlet, so we're fairly close to, and everything down there is fairly close together anyway. We usually stay near the pier that has the arcade on it and the arcade across the street. And there's like an ice cream place next to it. And
The ice cream place is also good.
it is. Look, they're playing Goonies now.
Playing all the best hits of the 80s.
It's like being at home to my right. Looking at Joseph's comment, I have never sent an emoji. Still never.
You've never done an emoji before?
No,
What about the poop emoji?
never did it.
You haven't?
No.
That's right. I've only just sent it to you.
Yeah, I've never because I just don't want to.
Why are you anti-emoji?
I just don't because
As a proud professor of clown
do you know
college.
anybody else who's never did it before?
No.
Right. Thank you very much.
You just want to be unique in that way.
Be unique where you can be unique.
Well, I have a friend who I game with quite a bit. He hates gifts.
I haven't sent one of those before either. Because I don't
and the other thing is like his reasoning is most of the people at his job send nothing but that at a very highly professional setting. And I was like, dude, we're goofing off and playing video games. Why aren't we gonna do that? I was like, I said no.
Texter, if you're watching, I definitely will address that. If not, I'll address it when you can hear it. So, I mean, there's that.
Also, Trey, if I can go back and say what I was going to say about Comic-Con stuff, there's a lot of stuff that's there. I think the D&D stuff's a little bit more prevalent.
He's
there's
been
plenty of
there. He
artwork
wanted
and
to know
stuff.
about getting someone into D&D.
Also, dice is always a good gift for anybody who's into D&D because you can never have enough.
Which you can get at Borderlands Comps Games. They have all that stuff.
Oh yes, and they have a good selection too.
Look, I think I just saw Thanos.
Maybe Thanos. Or Teenage Sam.
I don't know, Chris. Do you go to the beach and eat Italian? No. I mean, I tell you, last time we ate at Mellow Mushroom a couple times, just because.
Yeah, it's pizza.
And the Mellow Mushroom around that area, it's got like was it like a bus or something inside that you can sit in? What was that?
It's like a transformer or something. But yeah, there's a bus inside of it.
Yeah, we didn't sit in the bus because can't fit. But
we're too big for the bus.
It looked pretty cool though.
It's not a bulky bus.
It's not. It's not even a shorter bus. It's a small bus.
Being that we're Clown College alumni.
I love the camera is just slowly starting to lean. Can't really tell though. A lot of people stared at my shirt today when we were out. My wife and I went out shopping. I went and got new shoes, which I will not be wearing too much because my feet and legs are killing me. I've been wearing the same shoes for like 5 years.
I'm in the same situation. So.
Yeah, and it's just like, I need new shoes. All right, got me some new shoes. They're sweet. Spent more money than I normally do on shoes because I wanted to. It's like, maybe there's a difference if I spend an extra $50. So I spent like $140 on shoes, which I've never done before. And don't know if there's any, I mean, they look pretty sweet, but I made a mistake of getting white shoes. I think LexCorp is an influence on me because he was complaining the other day because he marked up his white shoes and I told him he should be careful. Then I went and bought white shoes. I'm not going to look down because they're probably already got marks on them. I don't know. Maybe. We really like spending a lot of time at Broadway at the beach, or like one day and just go walk around. It's a pretty good walk. And they have Tiger Woods course there now, a putt-putt course, which I don't know how expensive it. It may be like $50 a person, in which we say, yeah, we'll go somewhere else.
We'll go to a more fun.
Yeah, because I don't know. I haven't been to putt-putt.
I still am mad they got rid of the dragon.
Well,
my childhood.
We have to continue the Wrightsville Invitational. It's been put on hold for a few years. We used to do that every time we would go there.
Indeed. There's also a new competitor. So I don't know how well she'll do.
There he is, Thanos. Oh no, there's Samwise.
Of the Upstate Pulse. On News Talk 98.9
Welcome into hour number 2 of the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo and Cameron here on a Father's Day weekend. I don't know if you celebrate the entire weekend. Is it like Dad's weekend where Dad can just do whatever? Because it's my understanding, I don't know, that I can already do that.
I was about to say, don't you typically do that already?
I can already do that, but
Are they usually just along for the ride?
I am also an empty nester now. We are an empty nester now. But the kids still have stuff to do with us, which is weird and also very cool. And we definitely appreciate it. So shout out and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And thank you for doing a good job. Thank you for being a good dad. We definitely appreciate it. If you want to be a part of the show, 800-905-0989 is the text line number. We do not open up for phone calls because you're drunk. And the first 5 years, I think it was, we dealt with drunk people and realized that drunk people can be really funny or they could just ruin the entire show.
Yep.
And the other reason is, unfortunately, I'm having to run everything myself today, which means answering the phone is difficult.
You're a one-man band.
Yeah, and you can't, and I'm playing the cymbals with my butt.
I just
I mean, imagine
With
things
my
how you want to imagine them. Anyway, we are also live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X at either the Upstate Pulse or 98.9 WORD. We are also talking about going to the beach. And when you go, where do you eat? Chris has had some really good suggestions as far as any place at Market Commons, and let's see, Trevino's, and some other places like that. The Conch Cafe, which I think we have tried before. I'm pretty sure we have.
we have.
So if you have any suggestions, we're going to be going to the beach sometime this summer because most people do. And I still remember the first time we went and seeing the ocean for the very first time. It's almost a spiritual experience to a degree when you've been landlocked for 28 years. We moved here, and I've lived here half my life now.
When you've
so it
been
was a long
locked
time
in
ago.
Ohio.
When you've been in a valley for many, many years, and you leave the valley and you find the edge of the continent.
Was there a shadow in the valley?
And there's water. Well, sometimes. And there's water, and you could hear it before you got to it, and you could smell it before you got to it. And there's one road you drive down, and you can see it off the road on your way in. It was Myrtle Beach then that we went to a bunch early on, and then we moved further south because we're quieter folk. We were actually quiet then, but we realized, we can move down there and it's not as loud. Okay, let's go down there, and then we can come to the loud part, and then we can go back down there when we want to sleep.
We can sleep in the non-rock.
Yeah, there we go. So the first time went to the ocean, man, dude, it's see the thing you don't know how good you got it if you've lived here most of your life, and you get the jokes, people from Michigan and Ohio, they come down there and they go to we come down and we go to the ocean because we haven't seen it before. But I think I've lived here longer than I lived in Ohio. I don't know if that makes me, except for American. But other than that, so I love going to the beach. And what I like doing when I go to the beach is trying some new restaurants, but also shopping. All right, buying. I'm a dude. I want to go buy stuff. I don't want to shop.
We don't shop.
Yeah. And also, and this has nothing to do with my age, I like reading comic books and novels with the ocean, not as the backdrop, but as the
forefront.
Is it the forefront? Okay, on the forefront, while sitting on the balcony. I have a book, the last Weiss and Hickman book that I haven't finished yet, and I've got like 2 chapters left, and I still have 2 chapters. I can't. I'm busy.
That's how
okay?
little you have left.
I have 2. It may be
You
more
keep
than that.
you've been saying it for
All
a
right,
while. that
it's
you've been-
probably more like 50 pages, but you know those
that's
books.
still 50 pages.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's like 20 minutes probably. Because of how good those books read. But I'm waiting till I get back to the ocean to finish it. Hey, you could have started with the first one. You haven't done it yet. You're waiting for all 3. I get it.
True.
So I can give you all 3. And I have a stack of comic books that I need to read. And I have told the family, and I think they got it last year. Hey, this is not about me not wanting to spend time in the ocean or in the pool. This is just about me. This is my relaxing time. No radio, because radio is work. And just sitting there relaxing, listening to the ocean and just reading.
I would like to state for the record, I did get it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I lumped you into everybody. That way I wouldn't point anyone out. That's how that works. All right. Text line. Texter says, hey, dudes, y'all ever talk to old school wrestlers like Rock and Roll Express? That's funny that you should say that. I have interviewed Ricky Morton before, and I got to see the full Ricky Morton, and we were live on location somewhere. It was me and the OG Patrick Brown and Chris Evans. We were live on location. Ricky Morton came in, sit down next to Chris, and I was waiting for him to smack Chris he kept eyeing Chris the entire time. I'm like, Chris was full beard, if I recall. So he just kept looking at Chris, and Patrick and I were sitting on the end. And it was also our first time not only doing it live, but we took the stream live. And this was before StreamYard, so we were doing it on OBS. And OBS has a tendency to crash. And my computer had a tendency to crash. So we're in the middle of interviewing Ricky Morton. He reaches over and he grabs the camera. When he does, the feed crashes. He's still talking to the camera. And I looked at Patrick, who's already scared to death by how Ricky Morton's asking. And I just shook my head like, don't say anything.
Don't tell him.
So don't tell him that the camera stopped working. We're still live on the air. Just we're not live on the stream anymore.
Just let him go. Just let him keep going.
My dude is so good. He was mad. He was calm. He was collected. Then he cried. It was everything. And I'm like,
We knew that Ricky Morton was a master thespian.
I'm like, wow, okay. That's how, can all wrestlers do that? And I've had a chance to interview a bunch of them. But my dude was on that night.
I don't think Gunther cries, but
no, but he said that some people may cry on the inside when I asked him if he ever made anyone cry. And then he smiled.
then you get the good old Austrian smile, which you never want to see.
Yeah. Well, wasn't directed at me, so I was good.
He was reminiscing.
He was. Well, I did ask a question. It's always
Now
fun to ask a
I'm
question.
imagining him singing reminiscing.
So to answer the texter's question, yes, I have. Text says, hey gang, we rode the Harley to Merle's Inlet, hung out at the biker bars, ate at Drunken Jack's, really good food. Also, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Drunken Jack's, I'm guessing bar food. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, possibly.
So is Jack drunk there, or is it like beer and like flapjacks?
Ooh, flapjacks. I haven't had any flapjacks in a while. All right,
What's
so
the difference between a flapjack and a pancake?
they're smaller. They're smaller. Before we move on, let's talk about Spaceballs 2. I got to talk about
The
this
sequel.
before we take our break. Spaceballs 2. It's already been announced that not only will Mel Brooks be in the movie as Yogurt,
Yeah.
but Bill Pullman is coming back as Lone Star.
I wonder if he'll bring his son in.
He will. And that is one of the big announcements.
See, when we were talking before, I kind of connected the dots.
Yeah, his son, hopefully going to be playing someone by the name of Bob.
I hope so.
Because
we need the trifecta of
because
Bob.
he was Bob in Top Gun. He was Bob in Thunderbolts. Why not be Bob in Spaceballs 2? I don't know. We'll see. Josh Gad supposedly has written a really good script. And I don't know. Here's the thing, though. No Barth, obviously, because he did.
Yeah.
But you got to figure maybe Josh Gad plays his son. I mean, it just kind of makes sense. He's kind of got the build for it, if you will.
Yes.
I've also noticed there's no mention of Daphne Zuniga. I didn't check to see if she's still alive or not. But I haven't seen anything about her coming back. Daphne Zuniga was the princess.
No, I
Yeah.
got it.
She was in everything back in the late 80s, early 90s. What's up, Steven? Yeah, and I can't wait to go see. Well, don't have to go see this. It's going to be on Prime, isn't it, or Netflix? It's going to be on. I don't think it's going to be in theaters, but we'll see.
Well, either way, I'm looking forward to it and see how it goes.
And Moranis as Dark Helmet was hilarious. I don't think a guy like that loses his funny. I really don't. But you know who I can't think can lose their funny? Mel Brooks. And I am concerned about this. Text line 800-905-0989. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or X. Can Mel Brooks still be funny? Because that kind of humor is very, it's according to the times that you're in.
Yes.
And the times that we're in now, I don't know that he can be. And here's the thing. Older people like me and people who get it like Cameron probably will laugh at the stuff. But the generation, I mean, Gen Z, will they get that kind of humor? I don't know. And this is, back in my day, Mel Brooks was the funniest guy.
So the question is, do we care what?
Screw you. I work for Mel Brooks.
You're doing the French mistake.
Yes, exactly. A different movie, same sort of humor, though.
If you like to see Pappy singing the whole.
I don't know that kind of humor is going to work anymore. Humor is back from where it went for a while. So you can be a little more risque and say some things. And Mel Brooks was never that. I mean, he got labeled something, but he was anti all these things and anti-stereotypes, anti-racism, anti all this kind of stuff.
All this stuff is very layered and clever.
And he brought them out to point out what they were.
Yes.
And to make fun of them.
There's...
And I guess I wonder if today's audience is clever enough to get it. And the fact that Mel Brooks ain't writing it, Josh Gad is.
Yeah, that has me a little bit more concerned now.
It has me worried. All right, we come back. We are going to do a Signs of the Impending Apocalypse. You're listening. It's not good. Listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Good out. No. Think about it. Like the tone of that music going into impending apocalypse.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Always giving you props.
I don't need them.
I was giving you props, Pops.
I'm award winning.
I don't like calling you Pops.
Pops don't do that.
No.
You know who does that sometimes? Silver. She thinks it's hilarious. I'm going to start calling you Pops. Like, okay, whatever you want to do.
I mean, Whitebeard when he was younger had the.
Hey, when your grandkid wants to call you something, as long as it's endearing, Grandpa, Pawpaw, Papaw, Pops. I don't know. I don't think I'm cool enough to be Pops. I think Pops is the cool grandpa.
I know of someone who does like to be called Pops, and I do think that he can get away with that.
Apologize for lapses in talking on occasion, but again, having to run everything. So sometimes I ain't talking because I'm over there doing stuff. That's why. It
is why.
You know what? I may do that thing.
You gonna do the thing?
I might do that. I might do that thing.
Julie, do the thing. Avatar reference for those who know.
Moving stuff around, gotta do a thing. And do that thing.
He's now looking at things.
Okay. Do that though.
He's trying to think of the thing to do.
Oh no, I'm just trying to think of the best ergonomic way to do what I want to do.
You are a stickler for efficiency.
I am. I got it. Okay, I can do this. Text says I actually watched Blazing Saddles Friday night and laughed.
It probably is my favorite Mel Brooks movie.
I don't know. I really love that. I also love Young Frankenstein.
That one is also excellent.
Frau Blucher.
Here's the thing. It's not like it's the best by
What
a mile.
hump?
I would say Young Frankenstein is like a close second.
History of the World was pretty good too. I never saw the second part.
I've always seen clips, especially the one with Judas in it. For the Last Supper when Mel Brooks is there waiter.
I just remember
Judas, ah!
Gregory Hines pretending to be a eunuch, and I think it was Bernadette Peters dancing. And anyway,
Okay, I can fill the gaps in that.
yeah, I just remember that. That was hilarious.
Hold on a second. I got a question for you. Was Big as Something, was that History of the World or was that Monty Python?
Was what?
Never mind. I'll ask you after.
Yeah, ask me later because I'm
It's not something I can.
okay. No, that's fine. Ask me later. It's okay. We got to drive home together. All right. The late great Russ Castle, which someone was talking to me, JJ was talking to me about the fact that people still bring up Russ. Hey, he's been gone for a while, but not forgotten, and that's a sign of a true major talent on the airwaves, especially in this area. One of his things that was always my favorite segment, and I was his producer for like 14 years. One of my favorite segments was Signs of the Impending Apocalypse. I always thought that was really cool and scary, and it was one of the things that I wanted to continue on once we started doing this show. And so I have, and we only do it on occasion because I won't scare everybody to death. All right, so the FDA has granted wild type approval for its lab-grown salmon, also known as salmon to some people, making it the fourth company to receive approval for cell-cultivated animal products. Wild Type says the FDA issued a letter stating it had no questions about the safety of the cultivated salmon, marking the final steps in the approval process. Wild Type salmon is now available at Portland restaurants, with plans to expand to 5 more restaurants, joining other companies like Upside Foods and Good Meat in selling. It's called Good Meat.
What? That is the most obligatory restaurant name of all time.
And selling cultivated animal products in the U.S.
That sounds like a cyberpunk restaurant.
Yeah, it does.
This is a very cyberpunk story. But
while the FDA regulates most lab-grown seafood, the USDA shares responsibility for cultivated meat. And at the state level, there are bans on lab-grown meat in 8 states as the technology becomes a political talking point. We're not going to talk politics here. I also want to say I didn't check and see if South Carolina is okay with cultivated meat.
Yeah.
So
here's what's going to happen. Where salmon? People are going to start turning into where salmon. We're going to have fishmen running around Portland.
See, things like this just make me think of I Am Legend. It just always does, because it starts out as a positive thing. I mean, the beginning. Remember the beginning of I Am Legend?
Yeah,
they cured cancer.
Yeah.
But
they made zombies.
They made zombies. Yeah,
not zombies, but like
it was basically zombies.
Basically,
I mean, I bet
More
they
like vampire zombies?
I don't think they were craving cultivated meat. That's all I'm saying. So
No.
So do we get to a point where we have to say, excuse me, waitress, can you come here a minute? I gotta ask you a question. Is this real meat? Because if this ain't real meat, I'm leaving.
By the way, there's something that I'm sure that there's a deeper thing. Like,
Do you consider cultivated meat real meat?
that is a good. I mean, if it's actually the cells of an actual animal, then sure.
Although if
but
they cut the gray stuff off the salmon, which I guess is the skin, if they cut that part off, maybe, I don't know.
you just get the good meat.
How do we know? I mean, do restaurants have to declare on their menu real meat or cultivated meat? If you consider cultivated meat real meat, so I mean, do they have to specify? Do you get to the point where you roll up to your local fast food restaurant and go, excuse me, real meat? Cultivated meat.
Is this a synth burger?
And then you're gonna hear, I gotta talk to my manager. Is this real meat or cult? I don't know, man. It's 12.55, please.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Exactly. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you okay with cultivated meat?
Honestly, I haven't looked up any of like the benefits or the pros or cons or anything of it.
Well, it's probably, it's humane. Oh, okay. All right. Where are you getting the cells from? I guess it doesn't hurt the animal when you take their cells. I don't know, man. It just
the question is, how are they cultivated? How are they growing? Is the question.
I'm guessing a petri dish. I don't know.
Well, everything needs energy. Everything consumes to create or to
you know what I want to do?
themselves.
You know what? I just want to move on.
You do?
Because I just want to move on because I just don't know.
You don't want to talk about more synth meat?
Oh,
no!
All right. I am playing our oops sounder, but before I do that, I just noobed. So
you noobed pretty hard.
I done did noob.
Oh, what a noob. Total noob. Classic noob.
That's me, classic noob. All right. On the stream, Goose says absolutely no, and there's something in between there. I can't tell what it is.
100% no.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
I can't read it from here. 100.
100.
Thank you, Jacob Fatu.
That technically is an emoji. So
is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we got a couple oopses here. Both of them involve bugs. And one of them involves one of the weirdest bugs there is. It's a cicada. Okay. Cicadas, they look like they're aliens. Have you seen a cicada up close? And sometimes
all I remember was the zombie, the fornicating.
Yeah, the fornicating zombies, cicadas. This could be if you've ever walked up on your porch and there's like a dead bug there and it's a cicada, it will freak you out
because they are rather large.
Thank God for lizards. That will take care of that for you. All right. An Ohio driver was so startled by a cicada inside a vehicle that he crashed and rolled over.
Is the driver alive at least?
The Blue Ash Police Department say no one was hurt, but warned, as you can see, a cicada attack can be dangerous. He's not from Ohio. He's up from West Virginia.
I got you. It's a transfer.
The department didn't joke. The suspect fled the scene.
I get it because the cicada left.
Cicada swarms have caused chaos in the Cincinnati area, with residents reporting clusters of the insects in various locations. All right, so you're driving down the road and a cicada or a weird bug gets in your car. Do you get freaked out enough that you wreck your car?
No, I kill it.
Cicadas are big, dude.
I know. I regret afterwards. I hope I'm not wearing any good clothing.
All right, well, I get up really early to come to work the other day. I was getting in the car and I saw something get in. I didn't know what it was. It just flew in, so I knew it had wings.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to sit out here in the middle of the woods trying to figure out what the heck's in my car. I got to get to work. So I'm driving, and then I feel a tickle on my bare legs. It's like, I don't know what it is. And I look down, and it's a moth. So I'm good with that. It's a moth, okay?
Yeah.
I don't think it's one of the moths that can kill you. It's just a moth. There are moths out that was like something demon's head or emperor's head. So anyway,
That's it.
that's it. I knew it had something to do with a big old head.
It's either that or an eagle is coming.
Yeah. So anyway, so it's just flapping all about my legs. And I'm sitting there thinking, am I going to wreck because of a moth? And then I checked to make sure that my shorts were closed. Cause you don't want a moth flying
Here's
into
the thing,
your,
if that
into your
happened,
open
I can
shorts.
understand if you wrecked.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would
so-
just be.
So then it got out from between my legs and it flew up in the windshield and was fluttering right in front of my face the whole time.
It's like, look, dude, you need to get out of here.
Luckily I'm a better driver than my fellow Buckeye who decided that he's gonna wreck because he didn't know what the heck that was, a cicada.
By the way, there's a horsefly that got in my.
Those things hurt.
They do. It was dead very quickly.
Okay, well I don't blame you there.
So it flew in. Then it looked at me. It started to move, and I'm in driving mode, so I'm very quick. Instantly, just obliterated it on the dashboard without even looking at it.
Well, your sister had to deal with something. So I was driving down the road on 385 and had all the windows down because I had a car that the air didn't work on.
Mhm.
And she was in the back, and I didn't have all the windows down, but I had enough of them down to, I don't even remember what the car was. I ran through a swarm of bees and they got in the car. So I immediately pulled over and checked and made sure that there were no bees in the car or anything, made sure she was okay. There was some bees in the car, but the impact killed them. But
That's good, at least.
that was freaky. It was.
See, that's understandable.
I
as far as,
saw
like-
the swarm and there was no way to avoid it.
Yeah.
And I just went right through it. So I get my dude doing that. And as a broadcast professional, you're going to see that how this segue is going to work right here. Our second oops. Prince William's friend dies after swallowing a bee. All right, so there's also some weird situation this with. So Sanjay Kapoor, ex-husband of Bollywood star Charisma Kapoor, reportedly died of anaphylactic shock. Sanjay Kapoor, a billionaire businessman and polo pal of Prince William, died on Thursday, June 12th, after collapsing during a polo match in England. He was 53. The Telegraph and the Mirror reported that Kapoor, the chairman of global car parts giant Sana Cornstar, died from anaphylactic shock after a bee stung him in the mouth. So he was playing polo and a bee flew into his mouth and stung him in his mouth. And
was he allergic to bees?
No. According to this, let's see. Died from anaphylactic shock after a bee possibly stung him in the mouth during the sporting event in Windsor. He was full of life, laughing, joking, then gone in an instant, an insider told the Mirror. According to the Telegraph, witnesses noted that Kapoor said, "I've swallowed something," ahead of the medical incident. According to the Mayo Clinic, anaphylaxis causes the immune system to release chemicals that can cause a person to go into shock. Blood pressure drops suddenly, and the airwaves narrow, blocking breathing. Signs and symptoms include a rapid, weak pulse, a skin rash, and nausea and vomiting. Common triggers include certain foods, some medications, insect venom, and latex. It's weird, but I don't like latex either. The Mayo Clinic explains Kapoor was an avid polo player and often played with members of the British royal family. So he's on the back of a horse playing polo, and a bee flies into his mouth, and then he dies.
Did he die from falling off the horse or just from the shock?
No, he was joking afterwards. What I was saying, not joking. He was joking about it afterwards, and then something flew in my mouth, and then he was gone.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, Kapoor's death is just the latest tragedy for members of his family. In January, his former brother-in-law, Bollywood star Saif Ali Khan, was attacked and stabbed multiple times during a home invasion in his property in Mumbai, India. So it's kind of weird because it's like the family's being targeted.
Was it actually a bee?
That was my first thought, because we've all seen those hitman kind of movies where
Tiny little drone looks like a bee, has some sort of like hyper poison or something.
Blow dart. I mean, listen, we've seen stuff like that, and I hate that that's the first thought. But after reading that somebody else was attacked, and there was this, it sounds like maybe, I don't know. John says fish stick fish can they be cultivated? They probably already are. I don't know. I still like fish sticks anyway, especially Gorton's. That fisherman guy, that's a man.
Yeah, he is.
You listen to the Upstate
Good
Pulse
fisher, buddy.
right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Reminds me of my buddy, Ahab. Trying to get the white whale, but I got bored after a while. Don't know how he fared.
So, Chris, to answer your question, ask him. Again, not me, not him, not just ask him. He works a lot. So, do I want him back? Yes. Show's better when he's on it, but
Because right now you're getting stereo.
So make sure you listen to his show on Sunday nights and support him. And let him know how much you miss him on this show.
Terrorists swatted. Hear the Terror Show weekday mornings on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to. If you're over 50, big wireless problems.
Sorry, catching my breath. A couple more segments of the show left. Then I'm on vacation. So if you listen to me on the Rob Brown Show, I will not be on the Rob Brown Show because I'll be on vacation. Reading. Just reading. Also have another home project that I want to finish because that's what I do when I get on vacation. I may get to the point where I'm going to work on said thing and go, I changed my mind. I got a bunch of other vacation. I'll just do it on the next one.
If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-536-9607 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800.
We're going to go to the beach sometime this summer, Chris.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't
I have 2 more weeks plus a bonus week that I'm able to finagle thanks to two personal days. You put those in a week, like on vacation, like on Thanksgiving, where we already get Thanksgiving and Black Friday off. Put 2 personal days there. Plus, if you go on a vacation on a week that has a holiday, then you're only using 4 days. You can take that 5th day and use it on Thanksgiving. I'm clever, man. What can I say?
It's like Steiner math.
Not nearly as accurate, but close.
No, we wish we were as good mathematicians as Scott Steiner. I do, personally.
And you're an engineer.
I wasn't going to say anything.
We know about reality. Don't ruin it, fantasy, okay?
Pulse presents the Nerd Roundtable.
Allow me to elaborate.
Because the guys from your high school debate team need to lay the smackdown.
Are you familiar with this rate equation? The one that estimates the odds of making contact with extraterrestrials by calculating the product of increasingly restricted series of fractional values, such as those stars and planets, and those planets likely to develop life. N equals R times FP times NE times FL times FI times FC times L.
All right, time to hit the Nerd Roundtable. We step it up a notch or down a notch, depending on what you consider nerd. Is nerd up here? Is it down here? Is it over there? I don't know. Maybe it's in here. I'm going to go with that. It's in here.
What?
Exactly. I'm going to squeeze a lot of things in here because, as usual, I over prepare, and then the show begins to end.
It's always better to bring more cannons than what you need.
Well, yeah, because it's more fun. All right, let's start with this.
Take that, Napoleon.
Disney is suing a company called Mid Journey over AI pictures. So you knew it was a matter of time before a company started suing over pictures, and eventually it's going to be videos of properties. Now, it hasn't went so far as to, and I don't know that you can, sue those people that are doing all the Stormtrooper videos. They're AI videos.
Yep.
They're not actors. They're not getting paid for by the company that owns the property. And even though most of them are funny, some of them
a little bit more risque.
Yeah, most of them are funny. It comes down to this. So pictures, are the pictures property of the company that uses them? Like what came into question was a picture of Yoda. So does Disney, who owns Star Wars, own Yoda?
Well, they own the images and likeness, so yes.
Right. So this is one of those things where this lawsuit can change a lot of things. Disney and Universal filed alleging a bottomless pit of plagiarism. There's a lot of plagiarism in the Shrek and Yoda-like creatures that Midjourney spits out because it has been trained on, well, Shrek and Yoda-like images. Piracy is piracy, Disney's chief legal officer said in an accompanying statement. And yet, for all, and I know I didn't say it right, but I'm moving on and pretending like I did. And yet, for all the waiting, this was but the first shot, even an early symbol of what will almost certainly be a larger war, with other companies joining up to go after Midjourney and perhaps Disney and Universal going after other companies. It just makes sense.
No,
when
and
you're
I
putting
mean,
stuff-
that's perfectly like within their rights to do so.
And it's not even about profiting off of it.
It's to stop AI from stealing all this
right.
stuff.
And it's not, well, the AI isn't doing it. The people who are
using the
programming
AI
the AI are doing it. And it's one of those things that it's not surprising that it's happening.
Look, the Wild West was going to get laws at some point.
Very true. All right. Speaking of that, trying to look for my next story.
There's one called
New Superman. Let's talk about the new Superman trailer while I'm looking for the story. New Superman trailer is pretty cool, but it's also controversial for a weird reason. I found that story I was looking for. It's controversial because people are like, well, Superman doesn't act like that. Here's the problem. People are judging Superman by the Superman movies that they've seen. The comic's been out for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
And Superman acts a certain way. He's not allowed to be funny. He's absolutely funny.
He's a cornball from Kansas.
Right.
He's supposed to be that way.
And also, I mean, it's Mr. Terrific and he going back and forth. I'm assuming that they're buddies because they have that kind of rapport.
Haven't you
like they're
joked around
buddies
with your friends in a high stress situation?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got gallows humor over here.
Yeah.
So
I love the line. It's just like, what are you doing? It's like, or like, I forget exactly what Mr. Terrific is saying, but Superman responded was like, I'm doing very important stuff.
Yeah. And he looks like, so there are people out there saying, see, James Gunn is making him just like Star-Lord. No, he's not. He's Superman. Stop it. It's already having record ticket sales and everything. I cannot wait for it. This latest video shows Superman and Crypto fighting one of Lex Luthor's guys, and Crypto takes the helmet off of the guy. You have to look at it really close.
Yep.
Crypto takes the helmet off the guy. Superman punches him so hard that the teeth hit the camera.
I hope Lex has good dental.
The teeth hits the camera. It's great. Does
LexCorp give good dental? That's the question.
And it also shows Superman in the air using heat vision, fighting like 30 guys and just spinning around.
Things.
Oh, it is so sweet. I cannot wait for this movie. I think it's going to be very good. I've already watched enough to see that the rapport, the chemistry between the Lois and Clark are definitely there, which is very important. The little short from Jimmy Olsen, you got to watch that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's good.
Yeah, that's really good too. So the rapport.
Also, one thing I'd like to point out about the trailers, I have no idea how the story's going to go.
If you watch the trailer before it, this is about Lex Luthor not liking Superman,
Yeah,
and going toe to toe, and that's how it is in the comics, without a doubt. He doesn't like him. He doesn't like the fact that people worship him, and the question is, how does he get into the Fortress of Solitude? Has to have DNA. Whoever's in that suit has that DNA. There's people speculating about who it could be, going all the way to possibly Bizarro. I mean,
I think it's more than likely going to be Bizarro. Just based on all the cubes. It's the cubes, Dad.
Yeah, it might be Bizarro.
The cubes lead the way.
Some of it I just don't want to know till I get there. We saw the mistake made with Red Hulk. I mean, knowing I like not knowing who's wearing the black costume, who's wearing that black armor, even though it has like Ultraman on it. It just has a U. We don't know that's who it is. And we don't know that Lex hasn't been messing around in alternate dimensions, or is this one where he tried to make Superman and he made Bizarro? Because I recall there are some different versions that it's like that. I'm looking forward to Superman, and I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four, and I hope they're both are big time hits. All right, we're going to take our final break. When we come back, we're going to hit the lightning round, squeeze in as many things as we possibly can. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas.
WORD Weather Center. Chance of thunderstorms tonight, otherwise mainly cloudy skies. Lows level off around 69. Southwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Buchitsky from the News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center. Right now, 81.
Thank you, Chris. I'm doing my best.
Intelligence briefings delivered covertly to your inbox. Sign up for the daily download. There's only one place to get the information I needed.
Thanks, Chris. We aim to please.
No, we don't. Just doing my best. You know, I will say that this show, ideally, in my mind, from the beginning, was 4 people. You know, but you do what you can with who you got, and hopefully it will be 4 again. Not downplaying it. You know, that's just as much on me as it is. You know,
look, you're acting like you only just got one extra person in here.
4 is better.
4 is definitely better. That's dangerous, Goose. Also, technically, we do that now. Like, you guys ask questions, we answer them. We're not dictated by that, but
I don't know. Do you consider a person with a split personality more than one person? I'm not saying that that's what it is.
It depends on how strong the personality is. Considering I am like a psychic earworm in the zeitgeist of the
Sybil back in the day, who had like 12 personalities. Was she 12 people? Was she a dozen? Did she walk in and like, look, there's a dozen? I don't know.
I would, if we're talking in seriousness, no. That's just
Right,
a matter of
right.
Mental illness that needs to be treated.
Absolutely. And I'm not making light of it.
Pappy is a character.
So am I.
Huh.
Just a character.
Goose has a zinger of a question. I feel like there's a couple things that, like
Oh,
tie.
there's something I can't really talk about. It didn't happen here. It happened on the fan.
Can't
and-
disclose things.
And then I got traded. I mean, you know, the worst thing that could ever happen on the air is dead air. I mean, F-bombs definitely bad.
Mhm.
That I've experienced that before and had to hit the dump button to the point where I had to let a guest go. I've had to let a guest go a couple times here and over there. Even once there was a guest host who had brought in a guest who was a comedian and just right away let fly. And I just hung up. I was like, sorry. I told the host, like, that ain't happening.
It's like, not my house.
If there are repercussions, erring on the side of caution.
Sometimes in life, you got to give a hard no.
I mean, it's like any other business. You're going to have division. You're going to have abrasiveness. Sometimes you're just going to have flat out accidents like, oh no, I spilled something on the board. What's that smoke? I mean, stuff like that. Then you have near accidents, like when Chris threw a water balloon across the board to Patrick.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, they're just things like that.
Lightning can only strike twice so many times.
All right, W has spoken. That means it is time for the lightning round. We're squeezing as many things as we possibly can in the last 7 or 8 minutes or so of the show. All right, the SAG-AFTRA video game voice actor strike has come to an end.
Has it now?
Yes, it has. I didn't realize it was still going on, but I'm not surprised. I mean, this also has to do with AI. AI can help us, but it can also destroy us and kill us all. Destroy us all! Which it will. You know, it's just a matter of time. But it's a good thing to see that's over, and now they can get back to doing their voice acting and getting paid for it and not letting other people do that sort of thing. All right, Goose on the stream wants to know, when do you go pee? During the break, dude. I know I haven't done that in these 2 hours, but I can hold it for 2 hours.
I was gonna say, typically that's taken care of before the show.
Yeah, it is. And here's what I learned when I started doing radio. I had to run baseball games. And if you run a baseball game, longest break is like a minute and a half. And I had to go all the way down the hall at the radio station I was working at, the only other radio station that I ever worked at. Go down to the hall, go to the restroom, get back in a minute and a half. So it makes you get really good at, I mean, you know, there are people when they're if you're off the air and you're going to the restroom, but you see someone come in, they got that look, you get out of the way because you know they only have so much time to get in there and get back out. That's just the way it goes. And then sometimes you look at a commercial break and you go, all right, I can't hold it, and you make it longer than it's supposed to be. Throw in some extra promos, things like that, because emergency is an emergency. All right, the Thunderbolts did not make enough money to cover their budget, even worldwide.
That's surprising.
Remember, I had a problem with it, and my problem was the villain. I mean, I like Bob, but I think there needed to be a better villain.
And it just being the Void.
Yeah, and you knew the story before you went in. I mean, it was so easy to figure out.
Yep.
The
same problem as Captain America, but
I still loved it though. I did, but I wish it would have been a better set of villains. All right, American Gladiators is coming back, and it's going to be hosted by The Miz. All right, if you know who The Miz is, he was on The Real World, and he's been in the WWE for a really long time. Even had a series called Miz and Mrs. with his wife Maurice and their cast of characters. He is going to be on American Gladiators, and the play-by-play is going to be Chris Rose. He's been around for a very long time. But the other cool part about it is they've announced some professional wrestlers that are going to actually be in American Gladiators, including Rick Boogs. I can't do it the way I would like to because I have to keep my voice for another 4.5 minutes. Rick Boogs I don't know if you remember Rick Boogs.
I remember.
All right, he was jacked and he played the guitar. And love that guy. He's going to be an American Gladiator. I think he's going to be a great one. Wardlow from AEW is going to be an American Gladiator. He's got that look to him, and also going to be really good. Someone named Jesse Goddard, who I'm not familiar with, but apparently he's Mr. Pectacular. Jessica Rodden, who is known as J-Rod, and Kaylee Latimer, also known as Camille from AEW. So there, and plus a bunch of other athletes that are going to be on there. According to everything that they're saying, it's going to be on Prime, by the way, that they will have other names. And that is going to be cool. Love American Gladiators back in the day. It was an amazing show. I also got to arm wrestle an American Gladiator, and I cheated to win. And
sometimes you got it.
And it's on video, and I don't care. She slapped me on the arm like every time I would say something funny, which apparently I had a good night because I had a bruise on my arm the size of a hand for a couple days.
You're just getting her back for the abuse.
It was not a love tap. Storm was tearing me up.
I can believe it because her arms are gigantic.
Her hands were bigger than mine, and
Oh,
and
okay.
so I cheated on the arm wrestling to win because she said, because she was playing professional football, women's professional football, and she said, if you lose, you got to come to our game and wear a cheerleader outfit. Like, no, I don't. So to make sure that I didn't, I cheated and I won. I moved her arm in such a way that was awkward for her, and then I did that.
That's not really cheating. That's just more of you using your intellect to be able to supplement your brother.
Well, the other thing is, when I was done, there was a glass door behind us in the old building for WORD, and when I was done, she came at me like she was going to tackle me. Instead, she threw her arms around me and kissed me on the cheek. And then as soon as I got home, my wife wanted to see the video because this is way before the internet. It was like, you don't need to see that. You could see me brace. Like, I am going through this door. This is going to hurt. And
then she did something worse.
And I would
You would have rather have been tackled.
I would have. So American Gladiators, love that show. Can I ask you about the algorithm on X? And it's probably the same thing on a bunch of other stuff. If I'm doing a show and I have to have X up looking for breaking news, and it just lingers on a cat video, I got to watch 50 cat videos. Is there a way to fix that? I don't know.
Not really, no.
You're
at the mercy of the algorithm.
Not that cat videos are bad, but there are other videos that it ends up, I look up and go, oh no. And then they're everywhere. Nothing, whatever that thing is, not safe for work thing. Nothing like that, but still it's stuff that I don't care about, and it's up there. All right, Michael B. Jordan wants to make an anime. Please let Michael B. Jordan make an anime.
He'd make a good anime.
Yes, he will. Chris Evans, also known as Chris Evans, is sad.
Why is he sad?
He is sad because he is not going to be in Doomsday.
Sure.
And I don't believe it for a second. Thank you. That's what I thought too.
He might not be in Doomsday, but he might be in Secret Wars.
He might be. KFC has a new drink. It's peaches and cream Mountain Dew. Very gross. Very, very gross.
Plenty of peaches.
Yeah. Also, Deloitte and Touche is now offering employees a wellness benefit. They're giving them $1,000 to buy Legos. So don't you wish you were for them? All right. Thank you for tuning
Especially
in.
just for the name.
Thank you for Rob Young for coming on the show. Thank you to everyone who participated on stream on text line. We will be back next week. Maybe. Bye-bye.
Deloitte and Touche.
Deloitte. I don't think they're Touche anymore. I think they may just be Deloitte.
They dropped the Touche.
They dropped the Touche, which happens sometimes, especially if you spend time on a treadmill or something like that. I mean, you lose your Touche. But they're offering.
You got to find ways to get your Touche
They're
back.
offering $1,000 to buy games and all these kind of things because it's a stress reliever for people who work there. So
obviously, they're very stressed.
Well, yeah, they are. I did not manhandle her. Trust me, Chris. That was, yeah. I mean, that hurt. So when an American Gladiator is smacking you, you're like, yeah. And
That's one of those things of like, you have to use your cleverness to survive.
well,
as
yeah.
opposed to-
I just it's another case where my snark got me in trouble. I want to
shocker there.
So happy Father's Day to everybody. Shout out to my mom. My smart mouth still is getting me paid. Cameron, say goodbye.
Bye. Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.